When you're outdoors, on a hike, on a trail, it's so wide open that it's easy to forget there are barriers to places like this, to having the outdoors as an accessible part of your life. But today we're going to meet some folks who are working to make sure places like this are accessible to more people, no matter how they move through them.
I grew up in rural Newfoundland. Like, one side of our house was in the beach. I was literally like 20 feet from the beach and I was never in there, so I never felt welcome. I never felt like it was a place that I could experience. Hi, I'm Kim White. We're at Manuel's River Interpretation Center and we're about to take the Grit Freedom Chair for a little stroll around the trails.
Have you ever been out in this chair on these trails?
I've never been in the Grit Freedom Chair on these trails. I've been in the Freedom Chair before on many different trails, but never here, so this is exciting to be here today. So I've had a disability since I was 3. Most of my life I used braces and crutches. Coming here and doing things like the Grit Chair helps replace that exercise that I can no longer get, but also gets me outside, which is something that I really didn't get throughout my life because of the limitations of my braces and crutches. People weren't really giving me options, and I didn't know really where to turn to figure out how to get out and about, but TA's been wonderful in helping me explore all kinds of options around that.
Hi, my name is T.A. Loeffler and I'm a professor in the School of Human Kinetics and Recreation at Memorial University, and one of my missions is to get people outdoors. Being outdoors ever since I was a kid has been intensely meaningful. In middle age, started climbing mountains as kind of a midlife crisis, so I've been working my way through the 7 summits and made a few attempts on Everest, and gained a lot by having a focus and a dedication to a big outdoor pursuit. And I think that's what I brought also to this pursuit of wanting to broaden the spaces that folks can have access to.
How did you turn your attention then to making the outdoors more accessible to more people?
You know how it is sometimes at the end of a budgetary year, someone says, we've got a pool of money. And I had heard about a piece called The Trail Rider, coming out of British Columbia, the British Columbia Outdoor Mobility Society. So I said to my dean, can I have one? Because in case I ever have a student who lives with a disability in my program, I don't want it to be a big deal. I want to be ready to go. And he said, yes, let's get this, but I don't want it to sit idle. I want you to use it in the community. I want you to engage with it.
So here we are negotiating a piece of the trail. Well, Kim's negotiating it. I'm just walking beside filming at the moment.
So TA was looking for someone to test out the Trail Rider with, and we have a personal connection, and so she reached out and said, would I be interested?
So Kim and I experimented and kind of learned the kind of trails it could go on, and we have a variety of pieces of equipment that we've been out with, a hippo camp and the Trail Rider and the Grit Freedom Chair. And whenever we go out in public, it's almost like our outreach project. As we used it more, people reached out to me and said, we have this facility. What do you think would be the most appropriate piece of equipment that we first acquire or second acquire? And then I could sort of do some education around, this is what this one can do, this is whose needs it might meet. Manuel's River was an early adopter of bringing in a Grit Freedom Chair, and then the Botanical Garden, some of the national parks in the province. It's amazing, just truly amazing to see the access grow and grow and grow.
Of course, outdoor accessibility is about more than just buying the right equipment. For people who are the stewards of outdoor spaces like this, it's also about a different mindset, a different way of looking at what was always right in front of you.
So hi, I'm Janet Rumsey, and I'm the Executive Director here at Manuel's River. We have a beautiful trail system that runs along the river system. Very picturesque. You forget where you are. People are on our trails and they're like hard to believe we're actually so close to St. John's. You feel like it's really an escape from your everyday.
How did you guys used to think about accessibility of these trails? Was it even something that came into your thought process?
The organization started in 1989, and at that point it was about cleaning up the river and then putting a trail in place. So as the mindset has changed over the years. What this has done has made our trails even more inclusive. When we built our outdoor classroom, we wanted to make sure it was level to the ground, so that was accessible. So we totally look at everything differently now.
And it's been wonderful to see more people having the opportunity to kind of walk up to a facility like Manuels River and have a grit freedom chair there for someone to be able to use. You don't have to unload it and load it. You just have to arrive and off you go on some beautiful trails.
How did it feel for you to suddenly be able to get out into places that you said never really felt like your domain?
Once I got out in nature, I felt like this is where I belong. So when people were saying, like, what does it feel like? It feels joyful. And what does that joy feel like for me? I don't know, because what feels joyful for you and what feels joyful for me might be different things, but joy is joy. And when I'm out in nature, I feel joyful and happy and excited and want to get out again.